Somebody that I don't think that Stevens believes in his shooting is Marcus Smart, who is going to be coming back presumably this week. You mentioned that he should be back at practice when the Celtics start practicing again. He was injured on January 23, so it's been a little bit, and over that time
He hurt the Celtics, man.
Yeah, over that time, the defensive rating has just fallen off. In February, their defensive rating per NBA.com is 109.3, which is atrocious. One of the worst, one of the worst marks in the NBA at this point. What does Smart do that has just made such a huge difference?
I think first of all, it's just he's always energy.
Yeah.
Right? And so if you have moments where you don't have it, Stevens would always go to Marcus Smart earlier in the game. It'd be like, if they don't start off well, call on Marcus Smart, bring in the energy, everything changes. Yeah. Because he's going to go out there, he's going to dive on a loose ball, he's going to rip a ball straight out of a guy's hands, he's going to fly over the top of somebody for a putback, whatever the case may be.
He's going to tie somebody to a basket stanchion, whatever it might be.
Whatever the case may be, Marcus Smart is going to come in and he's going to slap you over the head with energy.
Or a chair.
Or a chair. And the Celtics have missed him. The Celtics have missed Shane Larkin.
Yeah.
And I think, especially lately with trying to fit in Greg Monroe, the Celtics have gone to bigger units that haven't had a ton of athleticism. And when you look at the Celtics lineup, Celtics rotation, right? The biggest thing that they beat teams with at the start of the season was athleticism.
Yeah.
And speed. They got Jaylen Brown. They got Jason Tatum. They've got Al Horford running, beating big men. They've got Terry Rozier and Marcus Smart and Shane Larkin when he comes off the bench. And all these guys who can kind of handle and create and do some things and beat guys with their speed, pick guys up full court. When you lose Larkin and Smart at the same time, then you have to play, like they've used Tatum at the 2 sometimes, and they've played Marcus Morris at the 3 a lot more lately. And you sacrifice some of that speed, you sacrifice some of the athleticism, you sacrifice some of the things that made you so dynamic at the beginning of the season. So I think it's not just Smart's injury, it's the fact that Larkin had it at the same time, and it's kind of changed the whole dynamic of the squad. And they got away with it first after Smart's injury, but the longer he's been out, the more you've seen that absence and how much it impacts the Celtics. Obviously, he's a big piece of what they do.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's one of the reasons he's such a big piece. I mean, he's in a lot of their closing lineups. Most of the time, he's on the court when it matters. Down the stretch, they haven't been closing games. A couple of times now they've come back and been right there. Can't remember exactly which game it was, but they came back from like 20-some down, and then they actually took a lead. They couldn't close that game out. And, Smart hasn't been in the game. Do you think that makes a big difference, like in those closing lineups where, now they don't have that defensive energy. They don't have that guy who's going to tie people to the basket stanchion. They don't have that X factor, sort of.
The one scariest number to me when you look at the Celtics numbers is the -10 that they've had with Marcus Morris in the starting lineup in favor of Aaron Baines. And why that's scary is because when they play against the best teams, when they play against Cleveland, when they play against Golden State, when they play against all the teams that really stretch you out and force you to defend, Stevens goes to that lineup. And Stevens relies on that lineup. And when Marcus Smart isn't there, that's often the closing lineup. And if you can't have success with the group you're going to turn to in pivotal moments against the best teams, that's scary. Yeah. And so that I think that's another reason why Marcus Smart is such a big piece, because they haven't found the way to success with the Marcus Morris lineup. And I think they need to find more success, and I think they will. I think that has potential, but it just hasn't happened yet. And so they've struggled. Yeah. And so that to me is one of the scarier things, because Stevens in times of need goes small, and he doesn't like relying on traditional lineups. So you've got to figure out how to play small and have success, and Marcus Smart helps you do that, I think, more than some guys in the roster.
Absolutely.